This is Lex, and welcome to Boating on the Hudson TV. I have with me the amazing, the famous, the spectacular master mechanic, Alex, who is the owner of Alex's Marine Plus in New Windsor, for our next TV show with Alex. So welcome, Alex.
How you doing, Lex, and everybody else?
Better and better. Now, our focus for today, Alex, is on trailers and boating trailers. And as you were saying yesterday, as we were talking, that's one of the elements of boating that most people don't think about. And tell us why it's so important to basically address your trailer and to do a number of maintenance pieces on that.
Well, what you got to understand is a trailer sits a lot more than a car does. So what happens is the tires are exposed to the sun, they're exposed to the elements, and they get dry rotted. So what happens is you appear these little cracks, and if your tires keep losing air, there's a reason why they're losing air. Either A, they got something in them, or they're dry rotted. And if they're dry rotted, they should be replaced, because the last thing you want to do, and I was discussing this with Lex, is be driving down the highway and blow a tire. A lot of people have spares, but now it's a pain in the ass.
Right, you don't need the hassle. Who wants the hassle?
No. Plus, and it's only a couple minutes just to look at them. I mean, if they're losing air and they're going down the highway and they feel like they're thumping, then they're telling you there's something wrong with me. I know tires are expensive. Yeah, boating's expensive, but it's a lot of preventive maintenance, and then it can't be. It won't be expensive if you take care of the little things up front. Then it doesn't get to be the big things later. Like here we go again with the bearings. You should jack the tires up so they're off the ground and spin them. If they growl, they're no good. If they're nice and smooth and they're a little bit loose, then you should repack them. Check the seals in the back, make sure they're not leaking, repack them. Or have somebody do it for you that you trust. Again, whether it's me or you're a boat mechanic, but very important, because if you burn a bearing up on the side of the highway, you ain't going boating.
Right. That makes it for a very not fun boating day or boating weekend.
Very, very expensive, because now you got to bring a flatbed to put the boat on it, and depending on the size of the boat, they may not even be able to move it. They may have to offload it on the side of the road, which takes permits. We've done that once, and that's not a good thing.
I loved your suggestion where if a person just jacks their boat up, on a little bit on the side so the trailer wheels are free, then you can rotate them. Because if you hear them growl, it's so simple. But you wouldn't know that necessarily going down the road initially.
Right. No, you wouldn't know, because, it's 30 feet behind you.
Yeah, that's a great tip.
Or you could, a lot of ways you guys do it is you put your boat in the water. Okay, your boat's in the water now. There's really no weight on the trailer. Get a couple of your, pick thing up, put thing down guys.
Yes, a couple of strong friends.
Yeah, pick up the trailer and spin them real quick. You'll know in seconds. It's not a big deal. You got you'll know if they're good or bad.
Well, the other thing you also shared, Alex, was that you want to check.
And the other thing would be brakes.
Well, yeah, brakes definitely. But before we get into that, is the dry rot is a lot more expensive to lose your boat in a blowout situation where the trailer goes out of control, which happens, than just to invest in a new tire if you got some dry rot out there. And lastly, before we finish up today, if you can talk a little bit about brakes, Alex.
Well, the brakes are important. There's a reservoir on the front of your trailer. If you look in there and it's rusted and there's really not much fluid in there, then that's not a good thing, because brake fluid attracts moisture. You should either A, have them bled to make sure they're working properly, make sure they're adjusted properly, and you'll know going down the highway if they're working or not. You come up to a light and that boat's pushing you, and chances are your brakes ain't working. And that's another important thing. Everybody goes, well, I'm only going to the river, I'm only going to this lake. But one time that old lady doesn't see you and pulls out in front of you, and you need that brake to stop, it doesn't stop. It comes around the side of you. Again, these are things that can be avoided. And you say to yourself, well, it's getting expensive. Well, pay a little now, a lot later.
Oh yeah, and we've all learned those lessons that we said after the fact. Darn, if we only had so and so done that maintenance. Exactly. So Alex, thank you so much. These are very, very helpful tips. And remember, if you need any boating service needs at all, contact Alex 845-565-9199. Boating tips, boating advice, boating mechanic work. He's exceptional. So thank you again, Alex. And for Boating on the Hudson TV, this is Lex, and we'll see you soon. And be safe on our Hudson River.
Happy boating.